I call the EDC Type A meeting to order, and this time is now 9:02. Okay, as President's remarks, I'm sorry? Okay, Paul, thank you. As President's remarks, I just want to say that I've been communicating with some of our citizens and asking them if they would like to volunteer. They can go on the website and fill out the application there, and there are several different boards that you can apply for. And when vacancies come up, then you can be considered for those, and we'll gladly call you if you need a better explanation. Then we'll also do that, and you may call me if you want me to sit down and talk to you. And that's on volunteering for any of our Type A, Type B boards, planning and zoning, adjustments, and is there another one? Anyway, there's several. So just go in there and look and see what you would like, and we would love to have you aboard. Thank you. And that's
And I have an announcement.
Mayor's notes.
So if I may make a president's comment about our president, who will be, Mrs. Gillen will be honored at a luncheon for women of influence this month. So next week on March 27th by the Zonta organization. It's the Women of Influence Awards, and it highlights women who have demonstrated leadership, innovation, and dedication in their profession and volunteer roles while positively influencing those around them. And out of the 5 or 6 ladies that will be honored, she is being honored as a woman-owned business mover and shaker. So we want to congratulate you on this honor. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then just some quick housekeeping. Mr. Castellanos, we will do your oath. You won't be able to vote today. You're welcome to participate in discussion, but we'll do your oath and everything after the meeting so that next time you can vote on the items.
Okay. Next would be city administration remarks. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob.
I just wanted to ask, how did it go? Did you get a lot of people talking to you?
No, I called everybody on the list that Paul gave me and left messages for a lot of them. Some of them didn't have phone numbers, but the ones that did, I called all of them. And there were 4 people that said that they would like to. And I could only remember 3 of the names here a little bit ago. But we would love to have them. We still want them to fill out that application, so we'll know who is interested. Means a lot to our city, so y'all come on. Okay, city administration remarks? Don?
Good morning. Glad to see everybody here. Just kind of a little bit of update. Covington Acres, the apartment complex is going in. They're ready to go up, vertical. They're just kind of waiting on getting the water line pressurized, so they'll have fire protection before they do that. Also, I want to kind of let everybody know, as a reminder, probably today or tomorrow, County Road 317 between Covington Acres and Lee Street is going to be closed down for a couple of weeks in order to upsize and install a new sewer line in the road. So hopefully they'll get all that out. We did put a map out on our city Facebook page. So anybody has any questions, give us a call.
Okay, so County Road 317 is going to be closed for the next 2 to 3 weeks?
A couple of weeks, yeah. It all depends on the weather and how things go. But yeah, just between Lee Street and the new development.
Lee Street and the new
So
development.
anybody that comes up 426 to 317 will have to go back to the west to access Business 67. Anybody coming, from the east along 317 will have to go up Santa Fe and kind of go around
Okay,
Business 67.
okay.
That's all I had. You got anything?
That's all you had?
Oh, Covington Acres? That's the apartment complex across from Tractor Supply that butts up against. Yeah.
Okay. Nothing, Jonathan?
No, I mean, it's just, there's conversations that are continuing to happening with our focus primarily trying to bring in additional revenue without, obviously, increasing tax. So just a lot of great conversations that more and more will come to light as we can start opening up about these conversations. So, and of course, we'll be talking about the manufacturing facility during executive session. And again, that's exciting. We're almost to seeing dirt move, so.
That'll be great. That'd be wonderful. Okay, any public comments? Each person in attendance who wishes to speak on an item not posted on the agenda shall speak during this session. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. Okay, we don't have anybody wanting to speak, so there's no public hearing for today. General, we need to nominate and select a board president and vice president for 2026. Board, is there a nomination for president? I want to nominate Ramondo
Your left.
Stonis for president. Is that good?
I'll second that.
Okay.
That was a-
All those in favor? You can vote for yourself, you got to. Okay. Okay. And he abstained because he's not sworn in, right? Okay, and then board, is there a nomination for vice president? Cody Thornton,
What about Cody? Would he be?
nominate him. Well, he's my vice president right now, so
Okay.
he's good.
Okay. Then
Okay.
I'll nominate Cody.
Cody Thornton, all those in favor?
Here.
Okay. Okay. All right, that will be good.
Now, will you still be on the board?
I will still be on the board
Okay.
until maybe in April, depending on what happens in April. But if someone wants to fill out an application for the Type A board and they're qualified and they want to apply, then I will consider stepping down before then. Okay. B, review, discuss, and consider the minutes of the regular Keene EDC Type A board meeting held on December the 17th of 2025. Have you gone over those notes, and do you have any questions or any changes to be made on that?
I wasn't here, so
You are still eligible to vote.
I can still
You can
vote.
still vote, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mm. Okay.
And I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of December 17, 2025.
I support that.
December, okay. And Rolando, okay. Seconded by Rolando. Motion by Gwen, seconded by Rolando. And, see. Has been approved. All those in favor? Okay. Okay, next, we review and discuss and give directions on the drafts of an economic development grant, program ordinance, grant application, grant eligibility requirements for the local businesses. Mr. Seitz? would you-
Yeah, so as y'all remember, in the budget preparation season, we kind of earmarked $50,000 to start a city grant program to support local businesses that are, already kind of here in our city. The idea behind it being, making sure that storefronts look nice, lighting, just keep our business areas looking clean and all that, and to help assist and there's several projects that I know I would like to see this money go towards, just, again, visibility, driving down the streets and those types of things that I know, especially during these economic times, it's hard for these business owners to afford, some of the things that would just help make their business look nice. So went ahead and kind of put this together. And so the main thing here I want you guys to look at is, the requirements. Is there anything you want added that you think should also be included in the requirements in order? This right now, this draft is a 50-50 match. It can be less than that. It can be more than that. I do believe there needs to be some sort of match so that the owner has skin in the game. There's also talk about, well, what if they go out of business or leave? I don't really want to start putting hard, scary tactics in place, because let's be honest, if they don't make it, the last thing we want to do is, add insult to injury. So, anyway, really, I just want you all to kind of look at this, look at the outline, seriously take your time with this. If we need to sit here quietly for 10 minutes and review and all those things, I just really want to get this done, so that we can start, helping our community and our businesses.
So we're starting out with $50,000.
Yeah, so that's what we earmarked.
Okay.
One of the things that's not in there right now is, is there a max? The idea is to try to spread it around as much as possible. So I don't think I'm a huge advocate of one person coming in and taking all 50,000 of it. So we may want to look at putting a cap, is the most 10,000, whatever that number needs to be, that they can apply for. Because a $10,000 would be a $20,000 if we keep the 50-50 match, those types of things. But I know there's several projects right now that would really help some of these business owners in the community that I've just kind of heard about through the grapevine, and I'd love to be able to go to them and say, hey, listen, go to the A board, apply for this grant, so they can approve to help.
Okay, so after those people apply, or those businesses apply, then the board would still be voting for,
Oh, 100%.
to give them the money, and how
Right.
much?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is your grant. This is meant to help bring business to the community. So if you look at a project and go, I don't really see that, helping or being beneficial, you guys will have the ultimate say. This is just the criteria, and the application process, and ultimately we would want to put this online. The application right now, it's just kind of in paper form with everything, but we would want to put it online so that, people can go and request, and, when the money runs out that year, then it runs out.
So we will put the criteria on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
they'll
our,
know.
our website. And we'll
Our website, I mean.
promote it. We'll do kind of
Yeah.
once this is in place, we'll do a kind of a little marketing campaign on social media and things
Okay.
to bring awareness.
That sounds good.
Okay, we'll start out with the $50,000 that's been tagged for this. How will it be replenished?
Well, at this point, each year. So the goal is, and here's the thing, like, I would love to see this program grow, as the community grows. And for me, like I said, you get these kind of corporate chains that are coming in, and it's not really necessarily for those. This is not to say they can't apply for it, but this is just more for the, the private business owner that, it's tough out there, So, yeah, so the idea is, hopefully we'll get good feedback from this. We'll see it be beneficial, help people keep in business, help keep doors open, help bring those sales, because again, we are chasing revenue, and the easiest thing to capitalize right now is the amount of, we're the heart of Johnson County, the amount of traffic coming through. We want to create storefronts that people want to pull in because it looks clean and neat and, all those types of things. So, there's also, I know there's some businesses out there that need equipment right now that it's expensive. Things are breaking, we want to be able to help them subsidize that, so.
Could any of it be used for advertisement? Because one of our biggest problems is sometimes smaller businesses come in and nobody in Keene knows they're there, and they don't support them.
I would say no on advertising, only because, like, we're having conversations with Paul Knott and Chamber. We've got some ideas in place that we want to start doing a better job of marketing the business. Again, we can add anything you want to it. If you want to, we can. It's, again, this is where we're looking at the criteria, and you guys tell me what can it be applied to, what it can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the chamber can do that. And Paul, it would be nice to get that networking thing that we talked about for a long, long time going. Yes, very much so. At each business, so that people will go there. And maybe some of our board, not a quorum, but some of our board can start going by there and start talking about them, so that would be good.
And we're talking with Keith, you know, now that we have a full-time marketing person, you know,
Yeah.
because, you know, there has to be a strong partnership with the chamber and the city.
Yeah.
And so, those are our ideas, but again, we can add whatever you think. If you think that marketing should be a, you know, something that needs to be added to the criteria or list of options, then by all means, let's do it.
It seems to me that it will be very effective if we can have a specific theme, a specific objective we want to accomplish, and then we can see if we're accomplishing that objective with that incentive, having a specific channels for that one. And if we can have a way to measure the return on investment, because I say, hey, 50,000 can be 100,000, you know, can be whatever that is, you know. But to consider a way to say, hey, this is what we want to adjust the objective, and then we get to see for this semester or this year, this is the criteria, but that can be adjusted based on what we are pursuing, right? So just want to propose that we can include something like that, you know, a
Yeah.
way of measuring as well. the
Yeah,
KPI.
finding an ROI would be great.
Uh-huh.
You know, that one probably need a little help with insight from, just because the community's growing. So, in theory, all business, you know, raising tides raise all ships, or whatever, you know?
Sure.
Whatever that, so I think, it would be good. I don't want to become too invasive, like you have to show us your financials to see year over year. You know, I don't really exactly know how to put an ROI on this, but it's a good idea for sure.
There are, if I can, or did you?
No, go ahead.
There are some software programs out there or companies that kind of track that kind of stuff, you know, via Big Brother, cell phone, credit card, you know, how long did they spend in this particular area? They're a little expensive right now, and I don't feel as a city we're at that point to spend that money just yet, you know, but there may be ways to track that. It may be a little labor intensive at first, you know, once those investments are made, but I'm sure we can try to figure something out.
It's kind of like that Placer AI software, huh?
Correct.
Yeah, it's like 12,000 a year, so that's on the list of down the road.
Yeah.
This is just an idea, and Paul would know more about this
Sure.
than I do. But Keene needs its own newspaper again, even if it's a small one, so that we can, if we go into a business and we love it and we want to get something out there about that business, we have a way to do that. And,
Well,
Mr. Castellanos had a comment, I think.
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry.
So I think what we have to decide is when you look at the application, you have to have an outcomes measure. So if we do decide that we're going to allow them to invest not only on the facilities, so it drives more revenue, but at the same time, may let the city look better as well. If they're going to spend some of that budget into marketing, promoting, what's going to be the outcome measures that they're expecting? What is the increase in sales that they're expecting? And then they do the before and after. So we set a deadline. The deadline's going to be 6 months, so we can say we need an interim report where every quarter is going to let us know how you're doing at this quarter. But it has to be on the application in advance, so they know what they're going to sign up to, right? So it doesn't take them by surprise that we're looking into that. And the newspaper is a little bit heavy lifting. However, a newsletter is a longer hanging fruit. So a newsletter probably could be a faster way to get that communication about what's going on into the city.
Okay, like, you mean a newsletter, like on the internet?
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
main
so we
page or
can
something?
do both physical and in the internet as well, because it's cheaper and the reach is broader when you do digital.
Well, and that's a really good idea. I was thinking more, in Keene, we have a lot of elderly people who don't get on the computer, are not internet savvy, don't want to get on there, and it would just be a way for them to have something to read about our city and everything. But it may not be a good idea, and it may be too expensive. I just wanted to throw it out.
Well, and that's kind of I'm pretty sure if I was sitting over there, Holly'd be kicking me right now. We're kind of going off topic, so we need to stay on, like, what this is, so we don't get in trouble. So we can add that to an agenda discussion item for future, because obviously it would need to be funded. So,
This particular grant that we're talking about, is it mainly, I'll say for like signage on a building, or we had mentioned one time about the, down by the barbecue place, they needed a concrete pad to
Exactly.
put their
Trash cans.
dumpster on, because they have it right now sitting in front of their building, which does not look real nice, but hey, it's the only place they have to put it.
Right.
Things like that, rather than equipment to go inside a building, or is it both?
well, that's what I mean. Most of the things, like you, that's one of the things. I'd love to see those trash cans moved around to the side, but again, $14,000 piece of concrete is an expensive price tag. So if we can help, do 7 and 7 or whatever, it just makes it more palatable. Another example is the lighting at the Dollar General. Now that we have these solar solutions, you can get a light pole for $6,000 at solar that does a great job. I've gone and driven around and looked at them myself at night just so I can see how bright they are. There's just a lot of little things. And here's the thing, like, I'm all for measurable. I just don't want to be invasive. The idea for this grant to me is helping our city and our community look the best it can, and helping those businesses, because sometimes all you're doing is just paying the bills to keep your door open. You're not thinking about, man, if I had a new sign, anyway. So to me, the measurable metric needs to be visible. But I also know there's situations where equipment breaks down, it's $6,000, they're in violation, and I don't want to have to go shut a business down because they can't afford a piece of equipment that is necessary to keep them in business, So it's kind of a combination in my mind, but again, that's the beauty of it, is they get to fill out the application, they get to present it to you, and you guys get to decide, yes, this is a worthy investment. So.
Okay, are there
Yeah, the
any-
only stipulation that, now that you mentioned that, like, equipment would be, if it's a 50-50 split, again, depends on, what you decide on, but if they did that, maybe there needs to be something in there that if they left or went out of business, that equipment stays with the building. Just something to think about. It all depends on what it is, of course.
And again, this is where I think there needs to be a cap, because there's one thing I've bumped into is people that are really, really good salespeople, and they come in and they sell you, and all of a sudden they've literally wiped out the entire thing on one thing, and a year later there's nothing to show for it. So this isn't a we're going to pay your bills so you can stay in business. This is something that legitimately is left behind so that the next person that comes in, it still looks good, it makes it marketable, all the things.
Paul, you had a question?
Well, I just wanted to say what Don said. That concrete pad down at Buffalo Creek Barbecue.
You can do it.
Okay. Yes. Paul Knott, 107 North Old Mansfield, in my 39th year in Keene, all inside the city limits. Okay, welcome. It's good to have you here. Good. What Don said, I was just going to piggyback on that, is that a concrete pad down at Buffalo Creek Barbecue would be the right thing to get those dumpsters out of sight, but that's not going to leave. not gonna take it with them. I remember when was done before, when Type A first started, and Sweet Peppa's was where the bakery is now, and we installed some kind of a exhaust system to take the heat out and take the smoke out. Well, that stayed. That stayed from Mandy's and the city station. It's probably still there. So these people, the improvements are to the physical plant.
And that's where it just needs to be a stipulation on equipment. I mean, you have two options. Either you pay back the half that was given to you, or you leave it there, So these are the type of things that we just need to make sure is in here, because this document's gonna be what holds up in a court of law, so.
But I agree with the measurement too. I mean, it doesn't have to be very sophisticated, so I would listen to Rolando.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Paul.
when I'm talking about the measurement system, is not necessarily to be invasive on that one, but it will be really good to say, hey, you know what? How many jobs did we retain or created this period of time because these help out? Or how much revenue it was created because these, like you say, if they don't have it, they're not gonna have much revenue. But if they have something that is more attractive, that appeals, okay, so it may increase revenue. So something that is not invasive, but that we can say, hey, you know what? We are getting the return on investment, and then we can actually be able to just move forward.
And there is an easy one. So we do have software that shows us kind of what all the tax revenue coming in from the city is. Now, we're not allowed to share that information. We that's something that has to be kept behind closed doors here. But that is something that is very measurable. If your sales goes up, then your sales tax revenue goes up.
That's right.
So, and for me, like I said, the ultimate goal is to curb some of the revolving door, because again, it seems like it's the privately owned small businesses that sometimes struggle in this community.
For sure.
So,
Very good.
Okay. Are there any other questions or anything? Oh, sorry. your friend.
So I think in reality, we have to process one, which is the standard for everybody. And what's gonna have to be unique is obviously the LOA, right? Because it depends on the application, then we're gonna have to customize the LOA for that specific grant. Where we may say, because you were granted something that is more towards a physical plan, then you have the choice to pay back or to leave it behind. So the grant process is still gonna be very standardized. However, the LOA has to be customized, depends on the application request.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm hearing is we do need to add a stipulation in there when it comes to, again, physical outdoor stuff. You're not gonna take paint off a wall, those types of things. But when it comes to equipment, there needs to be some sort of verbiage in there that states you either pay, if you wanna take the equipment with you, you have to pay back, after X amount of years. I don't know if we wanna put a stipulation on that either, I don't know. Or it stays there, right?
You really need to do that, because one of the restaurants we had in the FAR shopping center down here, the restaurant that went in, we did, and I don't remember if it was the Type A board that furnished equipment in there, and then they didn't last a year.
That was down where the barbecue place is.
Yeah,
right now.
where the barbecue place is right now, and they took equipment out of there.
I don't know, but
And so, there was nothing there to guarantee that that would be back.
Okay.
2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
That's true.
well, and again, if it's their equipment, they paid for it, that's one thing. But if it's something that we assisted with, then it needs to remain in the building.
Yeah.
So we'll add
and
that
Like
in
he
there.
mentioned, it's probably gonna be a case-by-case basis on what the equipment was and the value of it, and, it can be spelled out for that particular one on the time and money.
Let me get, okay, is there anything else on this? We do not have an executive session today?
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to read that
So,
verbiage.
So
are we
by
done with this?
when
sorry?
is it that you're proposing that we can, you mentioned something about having the criteria and application process. Is that something that,
Well, I want you just to review it. If there's, like I said, I'm gonna make this one change in here to make sure the verbiage is in there. Because my plan is at the next A-board to bring you the final draft so you can approve it, so that a month from now, we can start promoting it, so we can start getting some of these businesses some help.
Very good.
Well, then should we take it and review it, and then if we feel like that there's changes, give you a call and let you know about
Yeah.
our wish changes, and
Yeah.
then we can discuss it the next
100%.
meeting.
That sounds good.
Like I said, my goal is just to get the final draft approved next month.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
sounds good. And Holly?
So at this time, you need to recess into executive session, and you are allowed to, based on section 551.071, consultation with an attorney, to discuss deliberation regarding real property and deliberation regarding economic development negotiations, which are section 551.072 and 551.087. And Mrs. Skillen, if you will call the time.
Okay. So, there was no executive session, so are there,
We need you to recess into executive session.
I'm sorry?
Recess into executive session for
Oh,
consultation with
okay.
attorney.
Because mine had no on it, so that's why the reason
Sorry,
I
yes.
say, okay. Okay. Going to recess into executive session at 9:33. Meeting continues at 10:14.
All right, well, thank you very much, Board, for meeting in there. I'm going to need someone to make a motion that the proceeds from the sale of the 60 acres at our industrial park go towards serving the construction of developing the road to enhance the industrial park.
I'll make the motion as read.
I second.
All those in favor? Okay, motion carried. Motion carried. Okay, is there any other requests for future items on agenda items?
Did you want to add the item on marketing newsletter?
Not really. You mean for coming out of that budget that we have for helping?
No, there was some discussion about a possible EDC, there was discussion about a possible EDC newsletter.
Oh, right, EDC newsletter. We can put that on there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be good. Anything else?
And then we'll have discussion on the improvement grant program. Oh, I'm sure it'll be
Okay,
on
so
there
that's going to be
already.
on there.
That will be.
That'll be on there. Okay, all right. Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 10:16.